Good morning, my friends, and belated National Coffee Day. I missed it last week. Don't know how I did that with my favorite iced coffee from Dell. So here's to you, coffee lovers. Now, I'm explaining in this video how things turn on a dime. First, I'm having an EO, which is an emotional outburst. Then I'm all excited because Moosey's coming home. So as I said, things tend to turn on a dime, don't they? It's Saturday morning. Well, it's approaching lunchtime now. And Moosey never did get the acute rehab bed downstairs in the hospital. They're renovating and there were no beds available. And this went day to day. Will he go home? Will he not go home? Finally, Thursday morning, we did bring him home. There's a backstory here that I have put on, and I did that on Thursday morning when I had all this snafu happening about the extra day in the hospital. I'm presuming that's all over with. I'm hoping it is, because no one has said anything about it. Good morning, my friends. It's Nanny from Nanny and the Moose. Minus Moose here at the house right now. Things took a turn from the last time I talked to you when things were looking up. And then it didn't look so up anymore. Having my glasses on here because I had a big EO a while ago on the phone with the doctor, and my eyes are very red looking and definitely not made up. But I thought I'd just share this with you. Right now, I am waiting to go pick up Moose. It is Thursday morning. It never worked out that he got a bed. They kept hoping they could find a bed for him. And the floor doctor finally came in last night and said, we're discharging you this was at 5:30. Because they don't have a bed downstairs. And you have to sign something saying that he's a fall risk and the hospital's not responsible, whatever. I said, there is no way I can pick him up now. At this point, it'll be dark. I don't feel comfortable driving in the dark, number one. And Micah is not here to help me get him in. I can't believe that he didn't come around till about 5:30 to even see him. I'm ranting. But this is what goes with aging, life in the mid-80s, and dealing with the red tape with hospitals. So the idea was that this morning, I said, I can't pick him up until the morning because of this or that. You can't tell me at 5:30 that you're dismissing him and expect me to bring him home. So he said, okay, we'll discharge him in the morning. Well, this morning, Moosey called and said, well, there's something about the fact that Medicare won't pay for the last day, in which case our supplementary insurance wouldn't pay for a day in the hospital. Can you imagine what that would be? $5,000 to $10,000, for heaven's sakes. I said, no way. At that point, I broke down and couldn't talk to Moose anymore. I was, number one, mad and upset. Still recovering myself, by the way. And, if I talk about this anymore, I'll probably get upset. But right now, I'm supposedly calm. And my Moose is coming home. We will be having PT, which is not anywhere near what it would have been if he could have gotten a bed downstairs. Now, I understand that. But it was he's going, he's not going, he's going, he's not going. It's not my fault. The doctors had been in. They didn't feel comfortable sending him home the day before yesterday morning, evidently, whatever. So my wonderful heart doctor went in to see him this morning, who, by the way, has nothing to do with this hospital administration stuff. The social worker hasn't called yet to set up the PT, whatever. And he called me because Moose said, oh, she's so upset. I couldn't talk to Moose on the phone. And my poor doctor, the minute he said, how you doing? I said, not so good. And boom, the tears came. And, You know how embarrassing it is to try and talk when you're mad and you're upset at the same time. And I was trying to talk away, telling him all the problems, what I'm upset with, and felt like a stupid son of a gun. But anyway, I think I got my words across. So he said he'd go out and look and get this thing rolling along so he could come home and see what he could do about everything else. Of course, he doesn't have a thing to do with this. It's the floor doctor that should be setting everything up and deciding what's happening. So we should have Moose home by noontime. It's 10 a.m. I've been ready since 7. Didn't sleep much last night at all. Still trying to get the water down. It's been tough. Still not feeling great. So I will be taking the car down to pick him up in a little while, hopefully before noon. Micah will be here to help me with, of course, Micah wouldn't be around last night because he's an anchor man and he leaves for work at 3 o'clock. And the rest of the kids are all 45 minutes away. It wasn't fair to call them out at night to have them come over here and just help me in the house with Moosey. I'm set up here for him. He will not go out of the house for the next couple days until we get the PT people out here. The social worker is supposed to set that up. And we will get him at least mobile to the point where he can get around here. It's not a big deal. Now, the final upshot of everything is his heart is okay for his age. And the idea is that the heart doctor checked him out, said, his heart's good. He said it's good. The blood just isn't pumping as hard as it should to get into the blood vessels. And there was that dehydration problem, but no acute problem, thank heavens. It's just what goes on with age and non-movement over the last 7 or 8 years, basically. He's been on a walker. And not moving awfully much, trying, but not able to, really. So that's that. I talked much too long about all that. And by the way, as I'm sitting here in the sunshine coming in the window, I'm at my natural light window again. I have the tweezers out because the other day out in the sunshine when I was filming, wow, some of those little chin suckers were half an inch long. So I was looking down at them here as I was plucking them out. There must be about 10 guys. Now, if my Matthew were around, he would have started plucking them, but I haven't seen Matthew for a while. He's been busy with his business, his job. So he's supposed to be coming over here and helping us out sometime over the weekend. So, big sigh. Breathe deeply. Figure out a way, which we will, obviously. You have to accept these things to happen at this age. It's just maybe a little harder to be your own advocate about these things and deal with it. Of course, the kids are all willing to get in there, but there's not much they can do in the way of, I think it's better if I state my case on everything here. So Moosey's excited to get home. It is a shame that he didn't get that 3 hours a day of intensive acute rehab, but c'est la vie. They were doing renovations. They had a lot of rooms that were not available and nothing came up, which is what they would have preferred and I would have preferred too. So we'll do it, and I'm still taking it easy. That's the way it will go. I don't think we'll be doing too awfully much other than helping each other through all this. I'll catch you later. Maybe we'll get some pictures of the homecoming. Thanks for putting up with me. But you know what? This is the reality of aging, and we have to learn to do it if we want to just keep going a little bit longer, which we do. By the way, Margie called this morning, Matt called all the kids, which I was not able to talk too well with them on the phone, but I tried to restrain myself. But Margie, who is a registered nurse, said, "Mom, don't sign anything. If you have to, just get his clothes on, pack him up, and get out of the hospital. Whew, I don't know how risky that is, but I don't think I'll have to do that. I think we have the discharge papers. By the way, I've been cutting my water with some of these, maybe adding maybe half a cup to the water just to give it a taste. I think they have a little sparkle to them, and they're called sparkling ice. And the one I like is the mango, and I do like the lemonade too. And I'm trying out a coconut pineapple, 0 sugar, and it does have some vitamins and things in it that perhaps are a little better, but it sure makes the water taste a little bit better. You know, many of you were saying, Nanny, don't worry about us. Don't worry about keeping us up. Don't worry about making videos, taking the time out to make videos for us. We're fine. But I want to let you know that making these videos, I think is important, not only for you, but for me too. It's something that I enjoy doing. It's an outlet for me and some connection with people outside of my tiny little world here, and of course our children. But it's important for all of you to see that other people are going through some of the things that you're going through too. And if I can grab the time, and I think it's important for me to try and do that for me too, as well as you. And so that's why I'm trying to do this. And I hope you're enjoying them. You know, I've been waiting to make this German cucumber salad. And I do have a nice English cucumber, those nice big long wrapped ones. They say it works better with these, or you can use a regular cucumber or a couple of them. And you make it with the slices of red onion and fresh dill, which I have already ready to go. Lots and lots of fresh dill and sour cream. And you make a wonderful German cucumber salad, which Musi has had a German grandma, and she had a few recipes like this. So maybe I'll make this tonight for Musi. I have some nice salmon. It will be a good, healthy, cardiac diet, which he was on in the hospital and wasn't too pleased with, but I think this might be okay. So hopefully I'll get to make this tonight with you and some other fun things to lighten up this video. Now, I just did a little bit in the kitchen to show you what I might be making tonight, that cucumber German salad. It's so good. I bet I have made that 4 or 5 times since I first mentioned it about a month or 2 ago. And each time I meant to film it, but I've served it, and Musi and I absolutely love it, and it's so easy. So I hope I'll get to show you how I do it tonight. It's nothing at all, and it's delicious, especially with that fresh dill. You do need the fresh dill. The regular, I have some of that regular dill spice, but it's just not the same. So it's tough sometimes to find that fresh dill, but it was yummy. So maybe I'll get to do some other things. I did have some other things that I've picked up over the past couple of weeks that I haven't been able to show you. But hopefully I'll do a little bit of that today in this video, as I said, maybe to lighten things up.
Bye, everybody. I'm out of here.
Musi's on his way home.
I'm cool man dude.
As soon as we get the okay, we're gone.
And lots of good work.
Well, the visiting nurse came yesterday, checked him out. He's fine. And on Monday, we start home PT. He is getting around the cottage okay with his walker. And his legs do need strengthening. But after 7 days flat on his back in the hospital, we assumed that. So things are okay. They're fine. I am hydrating. Musi is hydrating. And honestly, our days seem to be run on whether we have our daily constitution in the morning and drink all our water. And that's the way it goes. And right now, I'm on my way to CVS to pick up some more pills. And I'm stopping at Dell to get a nice egg quesadilla breakfast. Haven't had that in a while. Bringing that home for moi. Musi is having a burrito, so we're kind of back to normal, and I'll tell you more about that later. funny how life changes on a dime, isn't it? Where's my little girl? Come on. Well, let me give you an update on Shamu and his fellow friends. Ghost, the feral cat, who has been with us for the best part of the last year, but who is definitely the alpha male and scaring the wits out of Shamu, my 12-year-old cat, has been missing for probably a week now, and I'm hoping he has found another home somewhere. He's definitely feral. He did cause a lot of aggravation for Shamu and was constantly fighting with him. Do you hear the birds, by the way? That's our mockingbird. Well, anyway, yesterday morning, I heard this horrible fight going on outside between obviously a cat and something else. And thinking that it was Ghost back, who constantly was fighting with Shamu and Shamu running away, I went outside, and there on the patio was this huge, large, caramel-colored cat who was running down the walkway with Shamu chasing him or her. So it turned out that my Shamu managed to chase away a cat and say hello, Shamu. And I'm hoping that that cat won't come back and that Shamu can relax. Now, Shamu is definitely an outdoor cat and has been for 12 years, dealing with raccoons and coyotes and other cats. The only problem was this feral cat that we called Ghost. He hung around and was definitely took over. So it looks like maybe Shamu has some real gusto in him to chase away that other cat that came. You know, we live up in the hills, and there's obviously going to be all kinds of strange animals around, which there are. And we hear either, well, it's definitely raccoons, because I do notice their markings. I don't leave cat food out at all. I have to keep it either, if I keep it in the shed, they get in there. There are ways to get in the shed. But I've been keeping the cat food in the back of the car. That seems to work, because the raccoons with those hands are able to open jars and tubs, and I've had a terrible time with it. So that's the scoop with Shamu. So wish my Shamu well. We've had Shamu for 12 years. Matt had the mom, Margie has a brother, and I want Shamu to be able to get through the winter not having to worry about fighting or dealing with another alpha male. And I'm sure Ghost has found another home. At least that's what I'm hoping. So meanwhile, Moosey's flowers have been out there. We have been home now since Thursday noontime, and I'll go back inside. It's in the mid-90s here for, I think tomorrow might be the last day. So Moosey has not come out yet, and I'll have to take a picture of his flowers that are blooming, because the garden is in some beautiful autumnal glory. Yes, Shamu, it's time for Shamu to have her brunch. Aren't those white mums beautiful? All the mums seem to be popping out, and those little purple ones back there. Beautiful bougainvilleas still out. Of course, these are my favorite. The beautiful gold, rust-colored ones. And next to them, see those beautiful mums there? I have all kinds of mums. In fact, there are lots of mums coming out. St. Francis is presiding. We have flowers coming out still, and this is October. This is wonderful. Some yellow marigolds, another big clump of those mums. Just love them. So we're still doing well, but in particular, I wanted to, Moosey might not get out today, so I do have to take, these are the pots that he's grown from seed, sitting next to his chair. And he's been waiting and waiting for them to come out. And they're zinnias, I believe, that he grew from seed. And there's all sorts of buds on there. So I'm taking this picture to show him. And his fluffy dahlias are still coming out. Aren't they beautiful? Look at these. I have to do some clipping of old ones here, but these are gorgeous, aren't they? So all in all, a few roses still left on the vine. We're doing good, and all our scarecrows are doing a good job of keeping everybody away that doesn't belong in our garden. I also found a new wreath for our front door. I went in the shed today. Matthew's going to help me over the weekend get some more fall things out. But I love this one. I put the other one up on the mantle. This is pretty, isn't it? Meanwhile, I have some things that are pressing on my mind. There's about 4 things, but the main thing is that several weeks ago I did get a notice in the mail that I have to renew my license before my birthday. Now, I don't have to take a driving test, but I guess once you reach a certain age, you do have to take the written test over again. And that is a bummer. That written test is so ambiguous that it drives me crazy. I have passed just about every exam you could think of in my lifetime, from college and orals and real estate exams and you name it, teacher exams in I don't know how many states. Passed them all first try. But that darn 15 question test about whether this area is 20-mile zone, 25, 30, you get choices. It's a bummer. And I've always passed with just 1 to go. I'm scared to death. I have to go down, get a book, and really start cramming, because you do have to really pay attention to that test. And trying to get an appointment is tough too. So that's my number 1 thing. I do have to make a few more Christmas stockings, which I will share with you. I call these memory stockings. After I decorate them, the kids all put their awards and their pins and everything on them as life goes on. Boys are green, girls are red, and they're big and long and good. How we do that, and that will start hopefully within a week or 2. I have 4 more I have to make. And as you know, I've already made probably 45 or 50 of them over the past 40 years. And I make them for all the new babies coming and going. Have to get the oil changed, a few other things, but I'll get around to it. I am feeling much better. I took my last antibiotic pill yesterday, and wouldn't you know, once that last pill was down, I started to feel better. So, I want to thank you all for all your comments. I keep saying this, but you're so caring and loving, inquiring about Moosey and myself. And the motto here is that things are going to happen, especially now in these golden years. Things are coming up, health-wise and otherwise. And we have to learn to deal with them. The only other option is being miserable. And I know there's aches and pains and everything else involved, but somehow we have to try and get our mindset to be positive about these things. And that's what I'm doing. So we're good. Moosey is hydrating. I'm getting him a new bottle, and he's going to have his own bottle. Not pink and green and blue, he said, though. Some nice, maybe Dodger color if we can find one. Anything else we want to say? Say hi, Moose.
Hi, Moose.
Joking again, as usual. We have this wonderful home health coordinator from the hospital who also called yesterday, and she is making future appointments with the cardiac doctor, with our regular doctor, and making sure that the PT people are coming out. She's wonderful. Her name is Becky, and I want to thank Becky in advance because she took care of us a year ago when Moosey was in the hospital with sepsis, and that she did a wonderful job. I'm sorry I didn't get this up Saturday morning. However, hopefully you'll see it tomorrow. And I've tried to vary it a little bit with some garden and some Shamu news. Now, don't get bothered by the fact that I keep calling Shamu her or a she, because Shamu is definitely a male, a fixed male. But as I noticed the other day, when she chased that new cat down the alley, she still has some spunk in her. So take a lesson from Shamu. 12 animal years is pretty close to mid-80s like us, and she's doing pretty good for her mid-80s. See, I did it again, for his mid-80s. Goodbye for now, my friends. I love you all, and God bless us all.